The Lord is near to all who call on him, to all who call on him in truth. Psalm 45:18. I had prayed before words rehearsed posture correct, but this night was different. No performance, no script, just a man on the floor out of options, finally calling out in truth. That's the night everything shifted. I've been saying prayers since I was young and nothing new. Learn the language of religion, learn to make it real. Real enough to pass inspection in the Sunday morning light. But I never prayed with nothing left, not once until that night. The prayers I prayed for years were mostly aimed at getting things, not the desperation of a man who lost and finally sees. I remember every detail, the floor to 2 a.m. The way the room felt smaller when I couldn't hold it in. The tears I hadn't cried since I was young enough to break came out of nowhere and I didn't have a strain of faith. No opening statement, no request, no protocol or plan. Just the breaking of a person who had run out of his span. Something happened in that stripped and unperformed release that no rehearsed prayer had ever given me. I didn't have the words, just the way. I didn't have the faith, just the hate. Turns out that's exactly what he was waiting for. Not my best prayer, but my most honest to the core. The night I finally prayed for real, it was already there. The night I finally prayed for real, he met me in despair. I didn't need the perfect words, I needed open hands. The night I finally prayed for real, he helped me understand. The night I finally prayed for real, the ceiling broke away. The night I finally prayed for real, I found a reason to stay. Not in religion, not in form, but in a God who hears. The night I finally prayed for real, he met me in my tears. Now I take that broken prayer into every grinding day, into the iron in the early, in the discipline of grace. Because the man who prays before the bar is not performing strength. He's acknowledging the source before the set goes any length. David wrote the songs from caves, bleeding raw and real. He said, Lord, why have you forsaken? And God called that appeal. Hannah poured her soul out to the priest, thought she was drunk the most. Unpolished prayer can split the atmosphere. I come the way that night came, with the truth the morning won't show. And I find that God responds to most of those who pray undressed. Lord, I spent so long performing in your presence like a stage, giving you the Sunday version, keeping chapters from the page. And what I found was you were never waiting for the perfect, you were waiting for the real, unfiltered, unafraid. The prayer was shaking hands in the silence that I made. So I pray that way now. Not with polish, not with script, just a child before the Father, nothing guarded, nothing gripped. Let the real come, let it rise. Real prayer through real life. The night I finally prayed for real, he was already there. The night I finally prayed for real, he met me in despair. I didn't need the perfect words, I needed open hands. The night I finally prayed for real, he helped me understand. The night I finally prayed for real, the ceiling broke away. The night I finally prayed for real, I found a reason to stay. Not in religion, not in form, but in a God who hears. The night I finally prayed for real, he met me in my tears. We're all in broken conversation, him and broken me. The night I finally prayed for real was the night I came alive. The Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us. Romans 8:20 says, you don't need the right words or posture, you just need to come. The Spirit translates everything you don't know how to say. The most powerful prayer might have no words at all. Just you, just him tonight.
Where can I flee from your presence? If I go to the depths, you are there. Psalm 39:7-8. I thought distance was protection. I built a whole life pointed away from God. He didn't chase, he didn't beg. He just arrived ahead of me every time. Yeah, I was running from a calling I could feel but wouldn't claim. From the weight of being chosen when I wasn't living straight. Had a reputation built on everything except the truth, and I ran toward every exit that the world had labeled smooth. Packed my identity and comfort, kept the faith at arm's length. Told myself that I'd come back when I had reclaimed my strength. But the running felt like freedom till the miles started showing. Till the man I was becoming wasn't where I thought I was going. I changed the city, changed the circle, couldn't shake the face like something ancient. Had its compass fixed no matter how I raced. Then the moment came I couldn't outpace, I outrun, I outthink. When the life I built around escapes the crumbling at the brink. And I turned around expecting judgment, expecting closed off doors. But he was standing right behind me, like he'd always been before. He met me in the run, and met me in the run, and met me in the middle of the flight. Not when I was worthy, not when I had made my peace. He found me in the leaving, and that's when I found relief. God found me when I was running away. He wasn't waiting at the altar. He met me in the fray, didn't need me cleaned up, didn't need me to explain. God found me, now I was running, and he called me by my name. God found me when I was running away. He ran the distance of the cross to find me on that day. I was going the wrong direction, he wrote my race. God found me, now I was running, and he put me to his grave. Now I run a different race, not from the car but toward the discipline of training mirrors, running toward the Lord. Jonah had a ticket going west, God had the east. Spent 3 days in the belly till the running ceased. And from that dark surrender came the word to save the nation. The running was a setup, God designed the whole situation. The prodigal ran out to the far countries, empty in, spent everything, came back broken, and the father didn't bend in the disappointment. He was running toward the road before his son could reach the door. The father bore the load, the God who found me running, found me with a feast, not election, not probation, just a table spread for me to run and ended at a party. Yeah, that's the grace I finally see. I thought the running would protect me from the cost of being known. Figured if he saw to hold me, he'd leave me on my own. The fear of being fully seen, he's fully being burned, but he saw all of it, the detours and the pride, and he ran toward me anyway. It's not a God I can't explain. That's a love that doesn't calculate the distance or the pain. I stop, I turn, I fall into the arms. Always open, never stained by my alarms. He found me, even running. He found me, and now nothing can undo me. God found me when I was running away. He wasn't waiting at me altar. He met me in the fray, didn't need me cleaned up, didn't need me to explain. God found me, now I was running, and he called me by my name. God found me when I was running away. He ran the distance of the cross to find me on that day. I was going the wrong direction, he rewrote my race. God found me, now I was running, and he pulled me to his grave. He found me, he kept me, and I'll never be the same. God found me when he called me by my name. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion, Luke 15:20. He saw you before you turned around, he was already running towards you. The distance between you and God is one step. The turn around, he's already running. Cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you. Psalm 55:22. There's a moment every lifter knows, when the bar is loaded past what your body was designed for. You can fight it for a while, shake, strain, refuse to drop, but eventually the weight wins. That's not failure, that's the invitation. Yeah, set it down, let him take it. I walked into the year already bent beneath the bar, carrying the residue of every season left a scar. The grief I hadn't processed, the guilt I hadn't named, the version of myself I put on trial and then blamed. I was strong enough to look like strength from every outside view. They said you look so solid, didn't know the fractures running through each promise that went broken, every vision that went dark. Every sleepless night I held the noise inside my heart, until one ordinary morning brought too heavy to unload. I couldn't couldn't take one more step forward underneath the load. Not dramatic, just to stop and just to setting of it down. And what I thought would feel like failure felt like taking off the crown. I didn't let it go because I had to fake the trust, because the holding on was turning me to dust. But somewhere in the laying down, he met me in the space between the weight I dropped and grace, the weight I couldn't carry anymore. I laid it at his feet, the weight I couldn't carry anymore. He made my burden light and sweet, not because the weight stopped being real, but because it stepped in. The weight I couldn't carry anymore, he carried it for me. Oh, the weight I couldn't carry anymore became the thing that broke me open wide. The weight I couldn't carry anymore, the weight I couldn't carry anymore, was the door that let him step inside. I am lighter now, I am freer now, I am held. The weight I couldn't carry was the weight that made me whole. Now train the weight I'm meant to carry, not the borrowed kind. The discipline that builds the body and renews the mind. Cause there's a difference between a weight that forms you strong and a weight you were never meant to carry all along. Jesus said my yoke is easy, not because the road is flat, but because he's in the yoke beside you bearing more than that. He doesn't watch you struggle from a distance on the hill. He steps beneath the beam and carries, that's the covenant fulfilled. So I live what I was built for, yeah, and I lay the rest aside, yeah, because some weights only God was engineered to hold. And the strongest thing I've ever done was finally letting go. Lord, I've been collecting weight since I was old enough to feel, thinking that the carrying was proof that I was real, that dropping it was failure, that needing you was small. But you designed my limits, so I finally have to call. In the calling you came running, in the dropping you came near. Every weight I thought disqualified me drew you closer, not less clear. So I open up these hands, give you every sorrow, every knife. Take it all and turn these burdens into life. I laid it at his feet, the weight I couldn't carry, the weight I couldn't carry anymore. He made my burden light and sweet, the weight I couldn't carry. Not because the weight stopped being real, but because he stepped in. The weight I couldn't carry anymore, he carried it for me. The weight I couldn't carry became the place I finally knew that I was never meant to stand alone. The weight I couldn't carry anymore, carried me back home. The weight that broke me was the weight that lifted me up. He himself bore our sins in his body on the cross, so that we might die to sins and live for righteousness. 1 Peter 2:22. He didn't just help you carry it, he took it completely. The guilt, the shame, the grief, all absorbed. You were never meant to carry what he already bore. Set it down, you're free. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. The Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. I spent months convinced the silence meant distance, convinced the absence of the feeling meant the absence of the person. Then something cracked the assumption open. He never left, not once, not ever.
I remember the season when the sky felt like concrete, when I prayed and heard nothing, not an echo, not a beat. When the breakthrough I've been promised felt like someone else's story, and the faith I built on fire was reduced to searching for a glory. I kept showing up to empty rooms and calling out his name. The enemy used every silence like a testimony, proof that God had gone, but holding to the word. I found the truth, I held the word but couldn't feel the word behind the text. Embrace myself each morning for the emptiness of next, until a moment not dramatic, just a Tuesday letting go. When I stopped demanding that he prove himself and felt the flow of something that had never left, just waiting for my noise to clear. And in the quiet end of my striving, God had always been right here. God had always been right here. He wasn't in the earthquake or the fire of my demand. He was in the still small voice. I've been too loud to understand. I've been searching for a feeling when the person never moved. The moment I stopped searching, that was when I found the moment I realized God never left. I broke down and cried. The moment I realized God never left. He was always right beside. I thought the silence was rejection, it was invitation to be still. The moment I realized God never left, and he never will. And the moment I realized God never left, the whole season changed. The moment I realized God never left, nothing felt the same. He was in the dark, he was in the way, he was in my unanswered prayer. The moment I realized God never left, he was always there. Now I take this truth into the ground before the sun comes up, into every empty feeling morning when I fill my cup. Because the discipline of showing up when God feels far is the training ground for trusting what you know beyond the scars. Joseph spent 13 years in pit and prison, God was there. Every thread of that abandonment was woven into the plan. The God who seen the vanish was the God who held his hand. Jesus slept through the disciple storm, but he was never gone. Not absent from the chaos, just at rest and carrying on. So every dry decision I have cataloged as lost was presence I mistook for distance, working through the cross. Working through the cross. How many nights did I perform for a God I thought was great? But you were in the silence just as much as in a shout. You never left my 3 a.m., never left my doubt. Every moment I was certain I was lost, you were writing in the margin, paying every cost. I see it now, clearly now. You were in the valley, in the waiting, in the test. You never left, you never left, you never left. Yeah. The moment I realized God never left, I broke down and cried. The moment I realized God never left, he was always right beside. I thought the silence was rejection, it was invitation to be still. The moment I realized God never left, and he never will. The moment I realized God never left, the whole season changed. The moment I realized God never left, nothing felt the same. He was in the dark, he was in the way, he was in my unanswered prayer. The moment I realized God never left, he was always there.
He was always present. From before I was born to today.
He was there. And surely I am with you always,
To the very end of the age, Matthew 28:20. Not sometimes, not when you feel it, always. Through the silence, through the dry, through the breaking. He was there, he is here. He will always be. You were never alone.
Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. Proverbs 19:21. I had a 5-year plan, a timeline of vision, and life ignored every single line. What I call derailment, God called formation. What I call plan B, called plan A all along. I drew the map at 22 with confidence and fire. Had the milestones, marked the sequence, ascending never higher. The career, the relationships, the version of success that I constructed carefully to silence the unrest. But the timeline started slipping, first a year, then 2. Then the thing I built my whole trajectory into fell apart inside a season I had not prepared for this. And I stood inside the wreckage of a plan going to abyss. I stared at the ceiling asking what I should give thanks, when the blueprint had been stripped and left me in the blank. And I started asking questions, what the detours were all for, when I realized that the blueprint was never mine to guard. I couldn't see the plan, but he could see the end. I couldn't hold the pieces, but he knew how they blend. The broken timeline wasn't failure or mistake. It was the architecture of a life he had to make. When life didn't go the way I planned, he had a better way. When life didn't go the way I planned, he was building something great. I thought a detour was the setback, but the detour was the road. When life didn't go the way I planned, he carried every load. When life didn't go the way I planned, I learned to trust and turn. When life didn't go the way I planned, there was something left to learn. He wasn't caught off guard by any season that I faced. When life didn't go the way I planned, he had already placed. When life didn't go the way I planned, he was planning better for me. Now I carry this into every discipline I build, because the body
schedule with bills by the stage. By pressure in the process, not by turning back the page. Ruth didn't plan a famine that would bring her to that field. Esther didn't plan a palace where her purpose was revealed. Joseph had a coat before the pig, before the crown. And the plan he thought his brothers buried, God was doubling down. The interrupted plan is not the cancel plan, it's grace. God repositioning your purpose to a better fitted place. Because the seasons I'm on most became a soil for what? When life didn't go the way I planned, God saw the better view. Lord, I've spent so much of my life mourning what didn't arrive. The doors that didn't open and the plans I tried to drive. But standing here right now, I see what I could not have known. That every closed door was a mercy leading me toward home. The planet crumbled was a shell around the real, and what came after breaking was the truest thing I feel. So I trade a broken blueprint for surrendered open hand. Your way, your pace, your purpose, I release it all to you. When life didn't go the way I planned, I found the real was you. When life didn't go the way I planned, he had a better way. When life didn't go the way I planned, he was building something great. I thought the detour was a setback, but the detour was a road. When life didn't go the way I planned, he carried every load. He wasn't caught off guard by any season that I faced. I'm not where I plan to be, I'm where I'm meant to be. The God who held the detour held a better plan for me. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah 29:11. His plan wasn't reactive, he didn't scramble when yours fell apart. He had already accounted for every deviation. Your detour is his direction. Trust it.
My power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. I wore the strength like a uniform press unbreakable. Convinced that needing help was the same as losing. The day I stopped pretending, I didn't collapse. I finally became real, and real is where God works. Yeah. I built the image brick by brick from every trial I survived. Wore the scars like medals, proof that I had more than thrive. Became the one they leaned on, became the solid ground. The person in the room who never came completely unwound, but behind the steady posture was a man on borrowed time, holding architecture up that wasn't his to hold or climb. Every time they said you're strong, I felt the fracture widen more, cause I was strong in image, but I was crumbling to the floor. Until a moment, nothing staged, no plan. Someone asked me how I was and I just couldn't land on the usual deflection. And for the first time the truth came through, I said I'm not okay. And for the first time I broke through. The moment that I let the mask come off, the room got it. The moment that I told the truth, he met me right there. Strength was never in a performance, I had it all wrong. I was made for real, not for pretending to be strong. The day I stopped pretending to be strong, I found real strength. The day I stopped pretending to be wrong, he went to any length to fill the space I held with all my carefully constructed pride. The day I stopped pretending, he came walking right inside. The day I stopped pretending to be strong, I was less than before. The day I stopped pretending to be strong, I finally opened the door to the kind of grace that only finds the ones who let it in. The day I stopped pretending to be strong is the day life could begin. Now I carry this into every discipline I own, because the strongest lifters chase the weight that builds the bone. Paul said when I'm weak then I am strong. That's counterweight theology, living through the vessel, not performing from the flesh. The power in the weakness is where everything is fresh. The men who set me to became the brothers in the room. The vulnerability I fear became the thing that cleared the gloom. I don't live to prove I'm unbreakable and made of steel. The realest weight I carry now is knowing I am held. Lord, I spent so long afraid of what would happen if they knew that the solid seeming man was being held together just by you. I was never the foundation wishing you were holding every stone, but what I lost an image, I gained back without the guilt. And what a ride when I was honest was more real than what I built. I am strong, but not the way I thought that strong should feel. I am strong because you made me and you make the real. Strength that doesn't boast, strength that doesn't need a show, strength that only shows up honest, that's the kind that grows. The day I stopped pretending to be strong, I found real strength. The day I stopped pretending to be wrong, he went to any length to fill the space I'd held with all my carefully constructed pride. The day I stopped pretending, he came walking right inside. The day I stopped pretending to be strong, I was less than before. The day I stopped pretending to be strong, I finally opened the door to the kind of grace that only finds the ones who let it in. The day I stopped pretending to be strong, real life could begin. His power in my weakness, that's the strength I'll testify. The day I stopped pretending, I was never more alive. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Paul boasted in weakness, because weakness is where his power has room to show up. Stop pretending, let him in. That's where the real strength lives. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Psalm 118:24. I used to wait for the extraordinary, the sign, the breakthrough. But God walked into a Tuesday, not a Sunday, not a mountain. A Tuesday with traffic and cold coffee. That's where he showed up. Yeah. Yeah. I have been praying for a vision, something cinematic. Why the Damascus Road experience to finally satisfy the hunger for a moment where the clouds will roll apart and God would speak in thunder straight into my restless heart. But Tuesday came like every Tuesday, gray and uninspired. The gym before the sunrise and the work until I'm tired. The commute in the routine and the in-between of life. Nothing marked as sacred, just ordinary and a strife. Something made me pause, mid-rep, and look beyond the bar. And something in the stillness said, I've always been right where you are. In the chalk on my hands, in the burn inside my lungs. God met me in my most ordinary, and the undone came undone, yeah. I don't need a mountaintop, he lives in the middle ground. I don't need the lightning, he's in every ordinary sound. He was never waiting for me to arrive at something great. He was meeting me in Tuesday, that was always what he made. God met me in my most ordinary day, in the quiet, in the calm, and in the gray. He wasn't waiting for the perfect setting or the stage. God met me in my most ordinary day. God met me in my most ordinary day. The coffee and the cold view, then the Monday yesterday. He turned the unremarkable into holy ground. God met me in my most ordinary, and I was found. Yeah. I take this revelation in every session now, not just a peak performance, every set, every vow. Because the rep that no one watches and a mile without a crowd is as sacred as the moment where the breakthrough happens loud. Moses saw the burning bush, but he was just at work that day, tending someone else's flock along a common way. He didn't plan a miracle, he turned aside to see, and the turning was the moment that became his destiny. The disciples were just fishing when the voice came from the shore, and the ordinary morning became what they were living for. So I consecrate the Tuesday, the pre-dawn rep, the ordinary scene. The holiest of moments are the ones I almost let go unseen. Lord, I've been looking past the present for the better thing ahead, racing through the ordinary for the promise you have said. But you've been in the present and the breathing of today, and I've been so focused on arriving, I forgot to stay. Teach me to be here, fully here, in the Tuesday, in the Thursday, in the atmosphere of every common morning. Let me never be the same. Every breath is holy, every step is yours, every unremarkable moment, every one that pours into the fabric of a life you hold inside your hands. God meets me in the ordinary, that's where I now stand.
God met me in my most ordinary day. In the quiet, in the common, in the gray. He wasn't waiting for the perfect setting or the stage. God met me in my most ordinary day. God met me in my most ordinary day. The coffee and the cold viewed in the mundane yesterday. He turned the unremarkable into holy ground. God met me in my most ordinary, and I was found. Every rep of prayer, every gray and ordinary morning, God is there. God meets me in my ordinary every single day.
Surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it. Genesis 28:16. Jacob woke up from an ordinary sleep and realized God had been there the whole time. He just hadn't noticed. The holiness was already in the place. It's already in yours. Open your eyes. Today is sacred ground.
God sets the lonely in family. He leads out the prisoners with singing. Psalm 68:6. There's a loneliness the crowd can't cure. You can be in every room, every conversation, every group photo, and still feel like a ghost walking among the living. God didn't let it be the end of my story. I had my name in every circle, had my face inside the frame. Had the group chat and the table and the people knew my name. Had the laughs and invitations in the Sunday morning pew, but I was disappearing in the middle of the view. There's a loneliness that hides and noises louder than the kind that comes from being physically alone and lives inside the mind. It's the feeling that the room is full of people watching me perform, and none of them would know me if I couldn't hold the form. And then one evening at a party where the music was too loud, I excused myself and sat outside away from all the crowd. And in that outdoor silence, separate from all the noise, I felt more present than I've been in years, and I heard a voice. Not the voice of anyone who come to find me there. Not a text, not an invite, but a presence in the air. The kind that doesn't need a crowd to make itself be known. The one who finds you specifically when you feel most alone.
I was surrounded by people,
but felt alone,
till the only one who truly knew me made
himself known.
Not in the crowd, not in the noise,
but in the quiet outside.
I was surrounded by people,
but God came and sat beside.
I was surrounded by people,
but felt alone.
And he turned that lonely outside to coming on. He saw right through the smiling,
and he met me where I hid.
I was surrounded by people,
but God found the kid. Yeah. Now I take this truth into the solitary session. The pre don't work it when it's just me in the confession of every rep I push in silence to a God who sees the man alone before the morning and the man he's meant to be. Elijah sat beneath the juniper and said enough, surrounded by the victory he just won, but it was tough. The crowd of prophets he defeated didn't fill the gap, and God met him not in Christ but in the stillness of the mass. Jesus pulled away the mountains, found a father in a host of silence and a prayer. The most important conversation needed alone, and so the loneliness I feared became the invitation to the deepest communion, just the Father and his few. And now I'm not afraid of being pulled away from crowds. Lord, I wasted so much energy conforming for the room. Spent so long inside the spotlight trying to push away the gloom. But you were never in the applause, you were in the quiet seat. You were the one outside the party, the one I came to meet. Every person feeling glass between themselves and grace. God specifically goes after people lost inside that space. You are seen, even in the crowd. You are known, even when the music's loud. You are held by the one who goes outside to find you. He's already there, right where the aloneness finds you.
I was surrounded by people,
but felt alone,
till the only one who truly knew me made
himself known.
Not in the crowd, not in the noise,
but in the quiet outside.
I was surrounded by people,
but God came and sat beside. But felt alone,
and he turned that lonely outside to
coming on.
He saw right through the smiling,
and he met me where I hid.
I was surrounded by people,
but God found the kid. God searches out the ones who slip away in silence. He finds the lonely specifically, that's his assignment. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted.
and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. Not close to the celebrated, close to the brokenhearted, the ones in the crowd who feel invisible. He sees them first. You are seen, you are known, you are not alone in that room.
Asking, it will be given to you. Seeking, you will find. Knocking, the door will be open. Matthew 7:7. Not every prayer is answered the way you act. Some don't change your circumstances, they change you. And when you change, the whole direction changes. One prayer, one night, everything after. I had a list of what I needed, God to rearrange, and I handed him the memo with the items I would change. But the prayer that changed my direction was one I meant to pray. It happened in the breaking of a long and grinding day, when the words ran out completely and the list is all there. And what came out was something raw, Lord, I don't know how to care for this life the way I'm living it. I need you to come in, not to fix the surface, but to change the man within. I didn't plan those words, they rose from somewhere past my will. And when I finished speaking, something in the room was still. It kinda rearranges the direction of your year. It doesn't answer with the thing you asked to get, but answers with himself, and that's the answer I can't forget. It wasn't a prayer I had prepared, it was the one beneath it. The prayer I didn't know I had until the moment freed it. I wasn't asking for direction, I was asking to be known, and he answered with a presence that became my compass home. The prayer that changed my direction wasn't on my list. The prayer that changed my direction was the one I almost missed. I came asking for the outcome, he gave me something more. The prayer that changed my direction opened up the deeper door. The prayer that changed my direction broke me open wide. The prayer that changed my direction let the real come inside. Not the prayer of the performance, but the prayer underneath. The prayer that changed my direction was the prayer of my. Now I take that honesty into every rep I face, because the training I commit to isn't just about the form. It's the daily act of asking God to direct me in the storm. Jabez prayed a single prayer, enlarge my territory, not for wealth or reputation, for the reach of his story. And God granted what he asked, because the prayer was rooted right. Independence, not an ego in the reaching for his life. Hannah prayed in bitterness, poured out her soul in grief, and God remembered Hannah. That's the grammar of relief, not poetic, not polished, not the prayer of the prepared. Just a desperate, honest woman, and a God who said I've heard. Because the prayers that change direction never start with God it right. They start with God, I need you, and they end with morning light. Lord, every prayer I prayed in desperation, you have heard. Every prayer I prayed in hunger, you have kept your word. You don't need my Sunday language or composed request, you just need the honest prayer, and you handle all the rest. So here I pray again, not for the outcome that I plan, not for what I think I need, but for your guiding hand. Redirect me, change me, lead me where I can't yet see. The prayer that changes direction starts with Lord have mercy on me. The prayer that changed my direction wasn't on my list. The prayer that changed my direction was the one I almost missed. I came asking for the outcome, he gave me something more. The prayer that changed my direction opened up the deeper door. The prayer that changed my direction broke me open wide. The prayer that changed my direction let the real come inside. Not the prayer of the performance, but the prayer underneath. The prayer that changed my direction was the prayer of my needs. The prayer unlocked the way I am living it today. Hey. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. James 5:16. Not the perfect person, the honest one. Your most desperate prayer is your most powerful one. Pray and mean it, let it change your direction.
For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world. Ephesians 6:12. The hardest wars aren't the ones people witness, They happen in the quiet. The mind at 2 a.m., the chest on a Tuesday. In the space between who you appear to be and who you're fighting to become. Nobody saw my war, God never stopped watching. They saw me standing silent, never saw me on the floor. They saw me show up faithful, never saw beyond the door of a mind that was a battlefield from morning into night, where every good intention met a counter off a fight. The battle wasn't poverty, I had enough to eat. The battle was invisible, I kept it underneath. Dressed it in composure and I showed it to the world. This confidence was something darker underneath unfurled. I fought the anxiety that lived inside my mind. I fought the old voice from my past that said I'll never be the man God says I am when I believe what he speaks to me. So I fought it in the silence, in the dark before the dawn. Pushed through every heavy rep and prayed I'd make it on. Nobody brought water to this fight, nobody held my shield. But the God who saw the battle was the God who never yielded. He didn't need a witness to engage on my behalf. The battle no one saw, he fought the better half. The battle no one around me could see, he saw every move. The battle no one around me could see, he fought it for my groove. I wasn't fighting alone, even when I felt that way. Battle no one around me could see, God wasn't afraid. The battle no one around me could see became the thing that formed. The battle no one around me could see before I was transformed. What looked like nothing from the outside was a war inside. The battle no one around me could see, God fought by my side. Now every set I push is a discipline to thrive, not just in the body, in the spirit and the soul. The unseen battle shakes the man who's pressing toward the goal. Daniel prayed 3 times a day, even when the law said don't. The kingdom opposing him never saw the war he won. So I don't shrink from what I carry, cause it doesn't have a name. I take it to the Father, I take it to the bar. A warrior formed in fires of the invisible. The battle no one saw has made me unconquerable. Lord, you watched me fight when I was sure I was alone. You saw the hidden battle and you called it not unknown. Every sleepless night of wrestling, every silent cry. You were in the room recording, you were always standing by. I didn't need the world to see it, I just needed you. You bore witness to the true extent of what I carried through. You fought beside the warrior every unwitnessed day. So I rise from the invisible, I rise from the unseen. I rise from every battle that no highlight reel has been. I am informed by what nobody watched, and that's the deepest kind of battle no one saw around me. Battle no one around me could see, he saw every move. The battle no one around me could see, he fought it for my groove. I wasn't fighting alone, even when I felt that way. The battle no one around me could see, God wasn't afraid. The battle no one around me could see became the thing that formed. The battle no one around me could see before I was transformed. What looked like nothing from the outside was a war inside. The battle no one around me could see, God fought by my side. The unseen battle made me, God the only witness there. The battle no one saw, he answered every prayer. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still, Exodus 14:14. Moses said it at the water's edge. Army behind, sea in front. Be still, let God fight. Your unseen battle isn't unseen to him. He's already winning. Be still, he's fighting. The battle no one around me. The battle